Good day, guys. What is going on? I'm Tio. Welcome to another vlog episode. As you can tell, we are at Casino Rama. I know that last vlog I said that we're gonna be here. Actually, no, I said we're gonna be in Niagara Falls again, but change of plans. We were actually over here last night. No grind, no nothing. I was just here to see a comedy show. Saw Tracy Morgan. It was an awesome show. Totally recommend watching one of these shows, guys. It was just super funny. I couldn't stop laughing the entire show. All three sets were awesome. 3 different comedians there. It was just great. All in all, great show. And totally recommend it. So if you guys are ever out at Casino Rama, I don't know, maybe he's gonna stop by Fallsview or like one of these other places, but yeah, definitely recommend it. But for now, my hands are getting cold. See, like, I'm not wearing any gloves. I should have totally worn gloves. As you can tell, it's winter. I see, like, there's snow everywhere. Look, come have a quick look at this. Guys, if you are somewhere in a hot climate, you haven't seen snow before, you know what this thing looks like? Dude, I'm freezing my hands for you guys. Look, I got snow, man. It's snow. This is like the first snow of the season here in Canada, getting ready to snowboard, guys. We are getting ready to snowboard. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to hit the slopes. But for now, we got to hit the tables. And we signed up for everything. I don't know if they got a 5-10. I don't know if they got 2-5. Most likely 2-5, because that's pretty much what we played all the other times. I know some of you want to see the scenery shots, and you're a little disappointed from the last video. I didn't put any scenery just because it was pure darkness, and I have no excuse right now. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a walk around and, you know, shoot a little bit before we get in. So I'll see you guys on the inside. What is going on, guys? Okay, so we ran, I wouldn't say the best. Things happened, and you know, you're obviously clicking the title of the video. We got one outered in this session. Yes, we did. We got one outered. We're gonna talk about that hand in a little bit. Probably not now. I think I'm just gonna do one hand when I get out. But you know, for now, we're just gonna meet you outside. So I'll see you outside. Alright, guys, yes, I know I said that I was going to do a hand outside, but it's just too damn friggin' cold. And the lighting's not that great, and I don't want to stand in the middle of the parking lot just kind of like doing a vlog. Kind of looks a little ridiculous. You gotta kind of see the camera that I got, because this lens is freaking damn huge. It's an awesome lens, but yeah, it kind of looks a little ridiculous. What are you gonna do? Anyways, gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, so we're gonna do the hands tomorrow. All right, see ya.
Understand, you don't understand, love, babe, how much love, babe, and how love, babe, believe man, oh baby, believe man, oh baby, you're believe man, oh baby, believe man, oh baby.
All right, so welcome to the hands. Guys, I know we're gonna get into that bad beat hand right away, but just be a little patient. It's gonna be a little further down in the hands, probably I think in that hand number 5, if I'm not mistaken. But before we get into anything, I like to totally shout out to Adam. We met him up at Rama, and at first, you know, he wasn't 100% sure if it was me that was vlogging, and yeah, we kind of like talked a little bit, and he found out that yes, it was me. I was vlogging. So another fan showing up in one of these poker rooms is really cool, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to Matt as well. He didn't even know that the vlog existed. And if you're watching this, well, good luck on your next grind. Okay, let's just jump straight into hand number 1. So fresh to the session, we literally sit down and we post our $5. Wake up with pocket 5s. We're actually on the button, and pretty much limps around to us. E2 limps, M1 limps, the cutoff limps, and you know, at this point, we haven't really felt out the table. We don't really know what the hell is going on. Yes, we do got the button, but we do have a pair of 5s, and you know, we can't. It's not a strong hand. Maybe if we had something a little better, maybe like pocket 9s or something like that, pocket 8s, probably bump it up here. But I think with pocket 5s, I think it's okay to just kind of like take a flop. You're on the button, it's first hand, whatever. Take it easy. Check it, and small blind completes, and the big blind just checks his options. So we got 6 ways to the flop, guys. Flop is 5, 3, 7, and it's rainbow. So this is looking pretty good so far. It's a good start to the session. I'm already feeling good, man. I mean, I flop a set first hand. It feels pretty great. And small blind decides to bet $20. Big blind calls, E2 calls, middle position 1 calls, cutoff calls. And at this point, I'm thinking like, you know, I can totally bump it up here, but there's like half the deck on the turn that is still pretty much going to guarantee my hand. I mean, it's a rainbow board. There's no flush out there. Yes, if there was a flush out there, probably would have squeezed it up, bumped it up, and most likely gotten all done on the flop. But there are no other draws there. Really, the only thing that's kind of scary is, you know, you got a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 9 that kind of potentially makes a straight. And obviously 4, 6 is the nuts. So, you know, I think it's okay to just take a turn card. So I just flatted. Jack of hearts on the turn. So looking damn good. Super good. Pretty much still have the nuts. Nothing's changed. I mean, if everybody had jacks pre-flop, they would have raised. I can't see anybody really limping. But I mean, I don't know, maybe early position 2 limps jacks. Who knows? People do that sometimes. But it ends up checking around to the cutoff, and the cutoff bets $40. So at this point, we totally got to raise. There's a whole bunch of guys in the pot, and I know that, you know, some of the other guys that checked, especially the small blind, when he bets like that, he's probably on a draw. So definitely want to juice up the pot a little bit. Now I know if I flat here, then everybody else most likely gonna flat. So I'm just gonna bump it up. You raise to 150. And this way, it's going to be a little tougher for draws behind us to call. And folds around to middle position 1. And he kind of like really thinks about it. Like, yeah, I guess he's on a draw. I don't know. Maybe he's on a nut draw. Maybe he's got something like 6, 8, and he wants to see another turn card or the river card. But, you know, this is exactly what the bet is for. It's like, is he really going to call $150 with just 1 card to come? So you definitely want to put pressure on your points, and he folds. And when he gets back to the cutoff, he shoves the rest of it. And he's got like 200 total, and we obviously snap call, even if we're behind, like, you know, whatever. He's got 4, 6, and that's exactly what he's got. He like insta flips his hand. He's got 4, 6. Ace of hearts, guys. Ace of hearts on the river. Complete whiffed. So gross. So we go from being like super happy about our hand to being a little bummed out. But, you know, at least it wasn't for a full stack. It was like half a stack that we lost. So we just retop up, go to hand number 2. Pocket jacks, and we're middle position 1. Time to make a comeback. So I don't know. Looking good. E1 limps, and E1's the same guy that beat us with the 6-4. And, you know, prior to this, like, he's been limping literally every friggin' hand, like hand after hand after hand. Okay, so you just kind of get like a gist of what's going on. And we decide to go to 25. Pretty standard. We obviously want to isolate, and we want to protect our hand. We got jacks, the 4th best hand, guys. Pretty good hand. I don't know why you guys hate jacks. Some of you cry about him, but I like him. So folds around to him, and he decides to call. And then we go heads up to the flop, and the flop is 6, 7, 9. 2 hearts and a club. At this point, you know, he checks to us. I think it's a pretty standard c-bet, so we c-bet here 20 bucks. We could go a little more, but I mean, man, he's been limping so many hands. Like, yeah, you know, a board like this, he could easily have like just a random pair. He could have Jack 7, 4x, 9x. I don't even want to name all the stuff he could have, because he could have a whole ton of hands. So, you know, I think it's fine to bet a little on the lower side, and at the same time, if we bet lower, maybe he's the type of player to just like spaz raise. Well, not really spaz raise, but I feel he's more on the side of raising if he wants to protect his hand. So at this point, if he raises, then, you know, I kind of have to give him a little credit because he seems pretty passive. And anyways, he calls really fast, and we get a 9 on the turn. Not the greatest card, but I mean, he was pretty weak on the flop, and I think that we could bet again here and try to see what he does. I think that he's most likely going to call. You know, a lot of his range could consist of just random pairs. Maybe he's got airs. Maybe he's got some like 10 jack. Maybe, you know, there's so many things that he could have. And if he's got a 9, well, he's got a 9. So good for him. But we decided to bet 55. And at first he chops out 55 bucks. But then he puts $100 chip on top. So yeah, I think it's pretty easy fold now, and we just toss our hand. I mean, he's just given like massive amounts of tells, like super strong tells, and yeah, coming from a player like this, like he's just totally not faking it. Like yeah, he's not reverse telling us, guys. Like absolute zero chance. So I'm 100% confident in that fold, and then we just move on to the next one. He didn't show it, he just mucked it. So hand number 3. We're down 2 hands. That's fine. You know, it's part of the game. We didn't lose too much with jacks, but you know, could have been better if we turned that one around. But you know, whatever. Ace jack off suit. We are on the big blind. We got 500 bucks in front of us, 9-handed. So M1 limps, M2 limps, the cutoff limps, the small blind limps. And at this point, you know, we're in the big blind. We're gonna squeeze it up. No reason to just like check behind here. We're out of position. A bunch of guys that limped. Our hand is pretty strong, and even if they fold, it's still pretty good. You know, free money without doing much. So we go to 40, and then everybody folds around to the small blind. Now he's seen us do this once before, and he got really upset. Like he's kind of like started turning around like this towards me. Like he was literally like to my right. And he's just looking at me like this, like literally giving me like the friggin' death stare. And this time around, he decides to call. So I'm like, I kind of felt it coming. So he calls, and it's heads up to the flop. 7, 10, 9, 2 clubs, 1 spade. We do got the jack of clubs, so I mean it's okay. We got a jack of clubs. Don't really like this board. Nothing that we really want to see bet here. I mean, it's really sticky. He could really hit it, and he checks, and we just check it back. So the turn is a 10 of clubs, and you know, now we got a flush draw, and he decides to bet 50 bucks, like really forcefully, just like puts it in there. And I don't know. To me, this seems like a sign of weakness, and I mean, you know, it goes either way, especially coming from somebody that kind of seems a little recreational. Yeah, you can't, yeah, like this tells most of the time is going to be like, you know, weak strength. So I'm sure most of you read friggin' Caro's Book of Tells. If you haven't, yeah, just read it. Check that one out. It's a pretty fun read. But yeah, like I don't base 100% of my decisions on reads, and there's so much complexity that's like behind reads, and you know, you really got to like correlate certain action to like past actions, and you got to decipher things. So it's a little more complicated than just, you know, like A plus B equals C type of thing. I think most importantly, you just play your hands out and just worry about the cards. Don't really worry about the tells all that much, because they can really screw you up, especially if somebody's throwing reverse tells. So we decide to call jack of hearts on the river. So now we make a pair, and he checks super fast, like lightning fast. He's got 200 left, and at this point I'm like, man, he's betting all his straights. He's probably gonna bet his 10s. Like, there's no he snap checks like that. And obviously, if he's got a flush, he's going to check it. I mean, bet it. Check it. That doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. I just feel like we got to bet our freaking jack here. Like, I think it's good. So I throw in 50, quarter pot bet. And he tanks for maybe 30 seconds. And he tanks, and he tanks, and he tanks. And he looks at me and he gives me another one of those death stares. And he's like, all right, I got to see it. I got to see it. And then he calls. Show him the bad news. And then he's like, fury folds his hand. So we picked that one up. That was pretty good. And yeah, I mean, looks like we're on our way back. Yeah, we're fighting a little bit. We're making some pretty damn razor thin value bets. Let's just go on to the next hand. All right, now this is another super fun hand. I'm just laughing because it's so hilarious. All right, we got 10 jack of hearts. We're in the small blind. We're 9-handed, 650 bucks in front of us. E2 limps, M1 limps, the button limps, and you know, at this point we can call along here too, but I feel like 10 jack is good enough to squeeze it up. So I decide to squeeze it up to 40. And E2 folds, and then M1 calls. And then the button shoves for 78 bucks. Okay. Kind of a weird sticky spot, but I asked the dealer if we can re-raise here, and they said a raise is legal. And we decided to just pretty much go to 350. And, you know, M1 has like 250 left, so that's pretty much putting him all in. And he thinks about it, kind of like hums and haws. And then he eventually folds, which is fine because he pretty much just like came down. We've never played a hand together. And in a spot like this, it's pretty obvious that when we're putting in this 350 bucks, like, we have better than 10 jack. But anyways, he ends up folding, and we're all in. We're heads up. And the board is 6, 6, queen, 3, 7. I'm obviously thinking this is not too good for me, but our player shows 10, 9 of spades. And we have 10 jack. Friggin' 10 jack of hearts, guys. All right, let's move on to the next hand. This is hand number 5. This is the hand that you guys have been waiting for. This is where we make a friggin' sick hand, and we get one outed. So, all right, hand number 5. We got ace king offsuit. We're middle position 1 with 700. Okay, it's like a few hands later after that hand, so, you know, like, even from that night, I'm still feeling the emotion. It's really funny. It's entertaining, guys. Like, you don't have to play ABC all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you're out there to play poker. You gotta have fun. You know, like, play some 10 jacks. Like, you might win with a friggin' 10 jack high. You know, you gotta have fun. Okay, don't just be a freaking, you know, they call them nits. Sometimes I'm nitty, but I loosen up sometimes, and it's okay to mix it up because that's what's fun. So remember that. So now we got the ace king, okay? E1 limps, E2 limps, and we go to 35. The button calls, and the button's a player that had the pocket nines. I forgot to mention that the player that folded, that got pushed to that like 250, he had pocket nines. So he was like a little bummed out about that. He couldn't believe that at 10 jack. But anyway, so that's what he was thinking. He's on the button and folds around to E1. And now E2, the same guy that had the 78, he had the 10-9 of spades, goes all in for short. He's got 90 bucks total. And now it's on us again. And we do the exact same thing. We raise to 450. And at this point, obviously, we're not dumb enough to do it again with a hand like 10 jack. So we obviously got the goods this time. The button decides to just snap ship. Snap ships. So same scenario. He's planning for it. This is like friggin' like play by play, unreal. So cool. He flips over jacks. Everybody shows their hand. I flip over ace king. And our friend that got 90 bucks has queen jack. So we're all in pre-flop. We got a side pot, we got a main pot, and we're looking pretty good. Like, I mean, if we hit the king or the ace, we're pretty much like, oh yeah. So I see an ace in the window. An ace of hearts pops up. Nobody else sees it, so I'm like, yeah. Ace of hearts, baby. Flop is ace, deuce, 3. 3 on the turn. And a freaking jack on the river, guys. Oh, it's so gross. The whole table pretty much like goes crazy. The guy that had the pocket nines and now he's got jacks is just, he stands up from the table, fist pumps, and that's what poker is all about, guys. Hitting that one out on the river. That's what it's all about. Yes, I got one outed, but it's so fun. It's part of the game. And, you know, that's why you got to play within your stakes. Like, obviously, if I got one outed for like $10,000, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't feel good. But if you've got millions of dollars and you're playing for 10K, like, what the hell's 10K? You know what I mean? Like, and yeah. So we lose 300 bucks, whatever. Hand number 6. Ace, jack, a spades, and we probably did like another orbit. This is going to be the last hand, okay? I'm trying to keep it a little short and sweet. So we're in a small blind, and we got 500. It's 8-handed, 3 limps in front of us, and, you know, we decide to go to 40 bucks. So the big blind decides to cold call. And the big blind is actually Adam. You know, he's a fan of the vlog. Right on. E2 calls, and then M2 calls as well. We flop ace, jack, king, and it's rainbow. Pretty good board for our hand, I think, but at the same time could be dangerous. So we gotta kind of see what happens. We check, and Adam also checks, and then E1 decides to bet 80 bucks. Now E1, I would say actually everybody in the hand, you know, like everybody's a competent player, and nobody's been really out of line or doing anything pre-flop or post-flop, and yeah, everyone's been kind of playing, you know, a pretty solid game. Like, I'm not saying nitty or anything, but definitely a solid game. So I have to respect that 80 bucks. And it folds around to us, and then we obviously decide to call because it doesn't have too much behind, and we got to see what everybody else does, because we could potentially be kind of against like queen 10. Somebody could potentially have queen 10, so we got to just be mindful of that. Adam also folds. So now it's going to be heads up to the turn. And the turn is the card that I absolutely did not want to see. 10 of diamonds on the turn, guys. Can't really credit our opponent for having like a backdoor flush draw or anything, but he could easily have a hand like ace queen. Don't know how often he's going to have king queen, because I can't really see him betting 80 bucks with king queen on that board. And he could obviously still have the nuts like queen 10. So we got to kind of see what he does, and we check it to him. And surprisingly, he checks really fast. So at this point, he's got 135 behind him, and the river is a 3. So I feel like I'm going to call the river anyways. But I don't think that he's going to bluff. I think he's most likely going to check all his 2-pair hands and whatnot. And if he bets with a straight, then we're going to lose anyway. So I feel like I'm just going to bet here. And I decide to bet and hope that he calls with worse. If he's calling with better, then that's fine too. But at least I'm still getting value from the worse hands that he's going to check back. So I shove it. Actually, I didn't shove it. My mistake. I bet 130. And I leave him $5 behind because I miscalculated his stack. I was off by $5. Sometimes that happens. Leave money on the table. My bad. And he sees our hand, we flip it over, and he kind of like looks at his hand, you know, and like stares at the board and shakes his head. So I really think that he probably had a hand like maybe ace 10 that hit a 10 on the turn for 2 pair, or he could have something like king jack on the flop. But anyway, that's that. So we kind of made some money back, you know, making some thin value bets. Sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to make some thin value bets. You don't always have to hit like monster hands to bet. And yeah, you know, after that session, things went up a little bit. We kind of, you know, chipped away, not chipped away, but chipped up. Won a few pots here, won a few pots there. And we ended up making $20 for that session. If we didn't get one outed on the river, we would have been up like another, you know, $700. So, you know, sometimes that's what happens. You get that one key hand that if you would have won that hand, you would have been huge that session. But yeah, you just got to keep fighting, and you gotta have enough of a bankroll to play for your next session. So yeah, until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the hand review. I know that I, you know, kind of like take my time doing some of these videos, and I'm not like straight into the hands. I want to, you know, kind of give you a little bit of a feel of what was going on, how I felt in the hand. And, you know, I hope that you guys do understand that I cannot film cards in the casino. I can't film cards. If I do, we get booted. And I don't want to get knocked out of, like, there's literally 3 casinos like in the Toronto area. Rama, which is up north, that has no limit, and Woodbine, which is in Toronto, and they're actually going to get Woodbine live because it's electronic for now. And then there's Casino Niagara. They closed Fallsview. They got Casino Niagara, but still, Fallsview, Casino Niagara, same thing. So I pretty much have like 3 options. And if I film in one of these spots, well, actually I can only film in 2, either Rama or Fallsview, I'm going to lose any of the action that I could potentially have. So I can't make vlogs and I can't make money. So that's why I can't shoot cards for you. And I hope that you guys can understand and you don't hate too much on that. But anyways, I'm really thankful that you guys have made it so far. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. And yeah, hopefully we can book some winning sessions in the next few rounds. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of dying to make like a K in a session. Some 4 figures, you know, maybe next one. We're going to be at Fallsview next time, and we're going to see what we're going to jump into. Hopefully 510 to make up for all that stuff. So anyways, catch you on the next one. I know it's been long. See you guys.